All right. All right, I have a sound bar now. All right, Zoe, can you hear us now? All right, cool. For some reason, the mic turned off in the settings. All right, cool beans. Glad we got that figured out. Technology. Oh, let's try that again. All right, there we go. All right, everybody, thank you for your patience. So then, I guess a quick recap since the sound hadn't been working. Um, the party had been hired to essentially go into these catacombs. There was missing peoples, and when they got to the catacombs, they had found several devils, bearded devils, and hellhounds. They had fought their way through these catacombs and eventually found their way into the lair of a hag. The hag enchanted one of the bearded devils that was standing guard with her, given it an amulet, and then the hag disappeared after setting fire to her research. Party ended up fighting against the bearded devil. However, whenever it died, it just stood back up and chanted with some type of frost magic. Um, Due to our warlock Leopard, he figured out a way to shut that down, and they were able to defeat the thing. Now the party is currently trying to put the fire out. So, where we were at, um, Zeralda, since you said they were going to try using frostbite to put the fire out, go ahead and give me either that Arcana or Nature check. Actually, you know what? Let me do this differently. Just give me a straight Wisdom check. I mean, I'm here for it. 10. Okay, that's good enough. It takes you about a minute to properly put it out. It takes several castings, but you're able to figure out like the sources of what's like hottest and what's affecting what, and in small sections, able to snuff out the flames. So once you're done with it, there's some spots that are still kind of smoldering a little bit. Um, Unfortunately, for the time that it took, a lot of the paper has been turned to ash. Whoever wants to do it, give me an investigation check. Okay. So you guys go and gather everything. For Zeno, I think you're the one with the highest investigation, correct? Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check with advantage since everybody's kind of gathering stuff, just to make sure you guys get everything. Fair enough. You gather everything that you think that is salvageable. Looks like there's a journal that's partially burned, some papers. Um, you do find what looks to be a scroll case and a pair of wands that are near it that wasn't like attached to the fire. Like it wasn't on like the side of the table it was burning. Um, there's a couple vials that you're able to pull off from the alchemical equipment that did load, and some spell components as well that um, you and Leopard would recognize as useful for like wizardy stuff. All right, and then we'll go over that stuff later. Neither has the middle part. Also true. All right, so splitting the party. I love when the guys do that. That always works out so well. Uh, Correct. That part of that is cynicism, and part of that is like, yeah, that legit worked. Okay. So who's going where? All right. Your sword would be gone by now. All right. So, and you said the wall and Corvina are going up north. All right. Everybody check your sound then on Discord. Like I could hear everybody just fine, but I don't know if maybe there's something that I'm missing on here. Before we get into that, let's. I think I already figured it out. Just like. All right, everybody, give me a sound check.
Hi.
Hello. Check.
All right, cool. Yeah, it turns out the other portion of my audio decided to crap out for you guys. All right. Well, with you guys deciding to split to figure out some of the other things, and you gathered up what you could from the burning supplies. Um, the Sokar, you said you're going up the middle. Um, or not Sokar, Leopard, rather. Zeno, you're heading down south. I'm assuming that the wall and Corvina are going north since everybody else is. Oh, excuse me, different directions.
Sure.
All right, and then what about Zeralda?
Um, was the right of my token explored?
So this way, yes.
Yes. Okay. There? Was that explored?
No, nothing's been fully explored down that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna head up that way then. I want to anything that hasn't been explored yet.
Okay. So then we will start with Zeno, since we're down there, and we'll move things around. All right. So Zeno, as you come around the corner here, you can reveal this. These rooms, both this one and the other adjacent one, have probably amongst them about 24 bodies, varying ages, mostly like just based on their appearances, probably either travelers that were grabbed in the dock districts, or people that might have been from the slums. There's nothing that's exceptionally fancy about clothing, or anything aside from just a general like rough and tumble or dirty look to them. Um, a couple of them have, well, before we get into that, go ahead and give me an investigation if you're checking out the bodies.
$12.
Okay. Um, a couple of them seem to have been gnawed upon, so there's some of them that are partially eaten. You can assume that's probably from the hellhounds. Um, there are several of them, though. You do see a male tiefling back in there, that has been completely ensanguinated.
Sorry, it's been whatted?
Ensanguinated, bled dry.
Oh.
And
He got slurpy slurp.
and not in like slit the wrists kind of way. Looks like it was like drawn out, almost like if you were to use common terms, like almost medically.
Did you say vampirically?
Medically.
Is this a different body pile than the one that was found earlier?
No, these are the same bodies that um, Corvina found. She just didn't convey that to the party.
Gotcha.
As to anything else of interest back this way, I'll open up this next section with more of the thing. Oh, I just did it. Reveal area. Yeah, that's just more of the same up that way. Okay. Anything else that you wanted to do down that way?
No.
Okay.
Just make note of, like, making sure I send someone from the some people from the city to get the bodies.
Okay. All right.
Just recheck that one.
So for Corvina on the wall, Corvina, go ahead and give me an investigation check as well.
I got a 7.
Okay. You do see a couple of chests in the back room here. This looks like this just drains down into the sewers. Um, there is definitely some dried blood here. Um, you do see a small table and bedrolls, for lack of better terms. Um, they definitely are like the infernal versions of that, some of which are very uncomfortable, or they're very uncomfortable looking. Um, but you have a series of, just like I said, bedding tables. Seems to be a discarded human arm that's left on the floor there. There is a chest in that room as well. Opening it up, it just has a series of regular clothing and a spattering of coins, maybe about 25 silver and 10 copper.
Okay. I'll pocket that.
Right. And then now we'll go into the center. So, Leopard and Zeralda, you guys head into here. Now, these, as I had revealed last session, are holding cells. Now, several of these holding cells,
Yeah.
and you definitely see use in them. Um, Heavy chains and everything like that. Um, in the furthest back cell, you do see Notham. I changed his artwork to be a little bit more um, ASMR-ish. So that's Notham back here. And you also see a pale-skinned elf. Um, Light blue hair. She looks sickly. Um, you see similar markings on her to what you've seen on the devil, but they are put into a different pattern. And unlike all the other cells that had steel manacles, this one specifically has iron. You can tell by the how the chains and the cuffs are rusted.
Is Nalfin cell locked up? I'm assuming.
Yeah, Notham's locked up. He's unharmed. Looks like they kind of just because you guys were right on their tail, so kind of came in here and chucked them in the cell and closed it.
Is there any way for me to break the lock?
You can attempt to pick it, or you can wait for your fighter who has a pair of boots he's been dying to use.
Um,
You also have a rogue in the party.
Which is also with the fighter with the boots he's been dying to use.
yes. And this was a steel lock on here as opposed to the iron on the other one.
Yes. So he himself is not chained to the wall. He's just in the cell. Um, whereas the female elf, she's actually chained. Now the doors are steel. What I was referring to is the manacles and such that's attached to the wall. Hers specifically is um, iron, where the rest of them are steel.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that last part? I didn't hear you.
Sure. So what I was saying is that the doors to the cells, those are what's steel. Um, the and all of the like in the back of the cells, there's chains that are attached to the walls, like chains and manacles. Those are all steel as well, just you could tell from the look of them. For one with the elf in it, her manacles and chains that she's attached to the wall with are specifically iron.
Okay. We don't see anybody in here.
Just those two in the cells. That's it.
Okay.
Um,
It was it was Leopard's friend and what was the other person?
An elf that you guys
Random elf.
haven't met.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry. I don't know what happened. It cut out or something.
No worries.
that's the theme of today's game.
Apparently so, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna try to melt the lock with Tasha's caustic brew.
Sure, give it a shot. Zoe created a new stream, new page for us.
What's that?
Sorry, I was thinking out loud. Go ahead.
Okay. And that'll be at 3rd level.
Okay.
Just making sure it sprays on the lock and not on areas outside of it.
Probably a formality of you might want to step back a second.
Yeah.
All right. The door is going to obviously fail at saving throw, so go ahead and do your damage.
Okay. Boy.
Yeah, make a con.
Sorry, I need to find the D4s for this.
Understood. That's why I love my dice bag.
That's 12 acid damage.
Okay, that's enough to break that lock. So you essentially put your hand up against the where the cell key would go, and just directly spray in there. And you catch a really weird chemical smell as the acid from the Tasha's spell just eats away at the inner mechanisms, and then the door just and is able to just be pulled open.
Now, are you unharmed?
I'm definitely unharmed. I don't know what their intentions were, but it smells like death in here.
Seems death might be part of their intentions. Did you catch sight of any of the others that were involved? I saw there was a hag. Did you happen to see her as well?
No, whenever I got in here, uh, the devil that had drugged me in, I realized what he was when we got a little bit closer to one another. He threw me in the cell, and then as he was going to chain me up against the wall, the woman in the back, I'm going to assume there's a woman back there from the sound of the voice, um, she just started singing and making noise. So enough to anger him, and he just shut the door and left me here. After that, maybe difference of a few minutes, then I heard the fighting start.
I'll turn to
I wasn't
Joe.
done.
What's that?
I'm sorry?
You say you weren't done?
No, I'm sorry. I was talking to somebody else.
Oh, okay. I thought I interrupted you.
No.
So the part will turn to Zeralda. You should get Corvina. We have another lock to take care of. Oh,
Gotcha.
can you hear me now, Zoe?
I'd say about this point, Zeno, you're able to join them, and about another minute or so later, Zerelda coming to fetch you. Um, the other two would be on their way back.
Okie dokie.
So, what do we do about the stranger in the cell?
I mean, we should probably take him back, right?
Probably, but sometimes people get locked up for a reason.
Well,
Uh,
we can assume what the reason was in this area.
It's kind of a dungeon in here, so I'm going to assume he didn't do it to himself.
You said Corvina is there because I can't move my token.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. You guys are.
Corvina will walk up to the manacles and ask if she could see them politely.
Well, you gotta get through the door first.
Oh, I thought that was the door that was already open.
Sorry, Revan, can you? Do you think you could turn me and Zeno up a little bit because it seems we're both a little quiet on the Twitch end.
Let me see. Speak. That'd be for Leopard.
Hello?
All right, you're coming across a little bit louder for me. I'll turn Zeno up a little bit too. Zeno, go ahead.
Up, 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 up.
All right. You're coming across clear for me.
Okay, thank you.
So you said the door is not open yet.
Correct. The door that Leopard opened was the back door there that has the gentleman at this one.
Okay.
So this one still needs to be opened.
Okay. So I will turn to the wall and say, "Would you like to try your new shoes, or do you want me to take the lock?"
I will kick down the door.
All right. Give me an athletics check with advantage for those boots.
For the people just tuning in, what boots does the wall have?
Oh, one of my absolute favorite magic items. These are the Dwarven Lockpick boots. They have knock on it several times per day, and to activate it, you have to boot down a door.
I rolled a 23.
Oh, not a problem.
Yeah.
You go and pull back and just kick that door, and you not only do you hear the locking mechanism instantly click from whenever the boot impacts with it, it bends. And you ever kicked open like a screen door and it just bang bang, like it flies back and forth? That's what this does. You knock that thing so hard it flings back and forth, and it's just bent and out of shape.
I'm impressed. Pretty soon, you guys aren't going to need the rogue. I'll just cleric and have to heal you or something. And I walk in and see if the person in the cell needs any help. Hello, I'm the cleric apparently. How are you?
Just don't kick her to remove her manacles.
I'm really good at manacles. I'm also good at healing.
Well, hello, the cleric. Uh, I would kindly request that you take these things off of me. They hurt like the summer sun. And as you take a look at her, go ahead and give me a medicine check. Corvina?
She's doing
17.
math.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure you guys are. All right, 17, easy enough. As you take a look at her, you see what almost looks like burn marks where the cuffs are. Um, it is not necessarily like heavy damage by any means. You actually don't even know if she's really taken any damage, so to speak, like in a traditional sense.
Would
But she seems to be somewhat allergic to the metal.
would be a nature check perhaps to see if I recall what kind of creature would have a reaction to iron.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give that to me with advantage, considering your pact.
I feel like Corvina would understand what's going on, considering her past and everything. Um, So she would reach into her bag and pull out scraps of cloth from clothing, wrap it around the wrists, and try to get the manacles off.
Okay. Leopard, go ahead and give me the nature check.
It's an 18.
18. She's an Eladrin. So Eladrin is almost like a pure-blooded elf. They're native to the Feywild and commonly serve one of the four courts. They are very emotional creatures for the most part, and their emotions are tied in with the seasons. This one is currently in its winter phase. Winter usually associates with um, fear, loneliness, depression, um, but also on that same side can be construed as viciousness, cold heartedness. Um, it has kind of a wide spectrum of almost negative emotions, either due to self reflection or um, outward aggression.
So Corvina wraps the clothing around her wrists, not her wrist, but the Eldrin's wrists.
Yeah.
And she says, "I got you, sweetie." Rolls a 27 on the locks.
Okay. Not a problem. The locks are fairly simple. Um, and you're able to pop them open. She takes a little bit of balancing. Um, Surprisingly, she's very light. Um, I want to say that considering her size, you'd assume her to be like 130, 140 pounds. She seems a lot lighter than that. Um, and you also see that she is a bit ensanguinated as well. Um, she goes, stands on wobbly feet. She goes, I, I thank you guys. The cleric, thank you for getting those things off of me. I would appreciate your name at some point, but names are a luxury that I don't always have. Um, in your vengeance here of murdering these creatures, did any of you happen to find my amulet?
Guys, did we find an amulet?
The one that got
Yeah,
disenchanted.
the one that was on the bearded devil.
That's the only one you've found so far, yes.
Oh, and I guess so.
Whoops.
Zoe still can't hear me.
Um, I don't know how to fix this, guys.
Um, oh, let me test again.
You might just need to speak louder, potentially. I don't know.
Yeah.
So are you able to hear Zeno?
Hmm. I can hear Zeno just fine on the stream.
Yeah, I can hear you guys clearly, but that's coming through my
Hmm.
computer though, so I don't know if that makes a difference.
Maybe it's haunted. Ooh.
Leopard, how about you hop out and hop back in just to reset it?
Yep. Hello, hello.
Sounds alright to me.
You're good on my end.
I'm not sure.
Mm.
I can hear myself. It's a little muted, but I can still hear myself in the stream.
Well, as long as it's picking up on the recording, I guess that's what matters. I just don't know why Zoe's specifically not able to hear you. Is it that you're not able to hear him at all, or is he just low? I mean, Zeno's always quiet, but
Wow.
He's not quiet. He's scheming.
I
That's
Wow.
inappropriate. What am I up to, adventurers? Ooh.
All right, guys. For people that are watching, just bear with us here for a minute. Technology and such. All right, Leopard, I got you almost maxed out. Go ahead and give me a test.
Testing.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, give me another testing. Just talk for a minute.
Right. Speaking words that humans would speak. Definitely not a robot.
Sing us a song.
Sounds like something a robot would say.
Sing us Piano Man.
Play Freebird! Hey, do Guitar Heroes Through the Fire and Flames on hard.
No, extra hard.
Zena or Leopard, give me a little bit more, bud.
All right. Hello. How's the sound?
Yeah, tell us about our car's extended warranty.
Recite Jabberwocky.
I don't have it memorized.
It starts out with like "'Twas Brillig."
I have that one memorized. That's one of the few.
Snickers snack. She was a snack.
No.
That's how it goes, right? Pretty sure that's how it goes.
Tacos are in fact the best snack.
Snicker snack. She was a snack.
I had to.
I think that we are golden now.
Okay, yeah, I had to remute stream because it was getting too loud for me.
Okay. So, picking up to where we were then. She asked, "Did you guys find my amulets? It was taken whenever they got me here. It's an important thing."
The only amulet we encountered was worn by a bearded devil.
That might be it. Do you still have it?
I mean,
Should still be on his body.
Okay. She kind of comes off of Zero or Corvina's shoulders a little bit, wobbles, kind of grabs the wall to get her footing. Tell me where it is. I'll get it.
Grab a wall or the wall?
A wall.
She's gone AWOL.
to the
Corvina helps
window.
her stand up and says, "My name is Corvina Petrovia Braith von Hemlock. The wall and I will help you get to your necklace, whatever it is that you're looking for. Just hold on to me and we'll go.
I am
And she will help guide her.
I'm in your debt.
We'll talk about that.
Oh,
All right. So, two of you guys head back down to where you left the dead body.
Either that, or if she would rather sit, we can go drag the dead body to her.
Or just take the amulet off of the body.
I mean, it's probably more fun to drag the dead body with my new thing that I could possibly make it explode.
The body doesn't have a head, so an amulet will probably fall right off.
I want to make things explode. Don't ruin my fun.
You exploded the bearded devil with your whip.
I did. It was amazing.
It was like the scene from Carrie. All right. So you guys go and collect the amulet. This is kind of important, actually. Who is the person that gives it to her? Or do you give it to her? I guess is the better question.
I want to do it.
go.
Okay, I hand it to her.
Does anyone check that it is actually the right amulet?
So she'll take a look over it. Take one of the rags off her wrist. Clean it off a little bit. And go ahead and clasp it back on. And you see this intake of air as you see some of the weariness of her kind of fade away a little bit. She's definitely still like injured and exhausted, but she's able to hold herself more upright.
Filled with spice.
Yes, I thank you guys, and you, halfling. What is your name?
Zeralda Pricklebush at your service.
At yours. My name is Elwin Gracia. I am a servant of the Winter Court, and this, she holds up the amulet. This is my soul connection to the material plane. They took it for some foul experiments. I'm gonna have to clean this up. But according to the rules of my court, I owe you a favor. It's a favor that I will pay back upon request. She goes, now, I would like to feel the cold air. It is hot and stuffy and moldy. It smells of brimstone and death in here. Which way out?
That way.
You guys have explored through the entirety of the dungeon here. Is there anything else you wanted to do here before you head back?
Wasn't we supposed to retrieve the brother or something? Wasn't he here?
He was in the.
Oh, okay. I was probably doing something, so I missed that part.
All good. All right. So, are you guys heading back to the inn that you've been staying at, or where are you going?
I mean, we could always pick up more whiskey on the way.
I think the end sounds good.
Yeah, I think Elowen probably needs to sleep.
Gotta have one in the city. Okay. So you guys head back. Um, the Eldrin in tow. She kind of slows you guys' roll a little bit, but second that she steps outside, her bare feet hit the snow on the ground. She takes this big deep breath. It's still winter. All right, lead the way. All right, guys, head back to the to Abadar's Promenade. I don't remember the name of the bar you guys are staying at, but you're at that place. Um,
Is something to have to do with a rooster?
I think there was something to do with a rooster on that. I'll have to consult my notes because I can't remember what it was called.
But I asked the winter elf what she's doing up this way.
I had come in through the south of the city. I think it was a couple days ago. Without the I don't know how on there, but I had come through town just to resupply on things. There's a fane to the Winter Queen not far from here. I was going to resupply and head back there to see if my queen had any missions for me. And I got grabbed.
Can you, well, did we take care of who grabbed you, or did you not?
Well, if you
Actually,
killed the devils and the hag, then yes.
well, no, the hag eluded us, or so our task is only half done.
I will. That's okay. I will personally see to it that her esophagus is removed.
Ooh, fiery.
Eh,
The wall will ask her if there are any other um, winter elves who came with her, and if they have amulets like the one she has, given that the enchantment on it was very reminiscent of a frost giant that we encountered on the way into town.
Um, there were none that I was traveling with, but all Eldrin have these if they're on the prime material plane. We're not natural Fae here. Our home is Feywild, and to gain entry, we have to obtain mortal souls and bind them to ourselves in these amulets. This allows us to stay anchored on this plane. The removal of it, I could resist the urge to pull back um, if I wasn't in that cell. Just if I wasn't chained to the wall, I could have left. The iron is what kept me here. My kin are not keen on that metal.
But they do like alliteration.
That we do. Some of us are uh, very sing-songy and talented. All of us are experts in one field or another.
So this amulet is basically a multi-pass.
Oh my god.
In a sense, yeah.
Can you surmise any type of experiments those bearded devils and the hag would have been performing using your amulet or the amulet of your kin?
I don't honestly know. Um,
It
it's Fey in origin, so it's naturally magical. And
seems to
their
have proper.
components as entities are highly sought after by mortals and immortals alike, some for benign or other for malignant. That's why
Seems to
they are
have.
very pernicious.
Do you have any means of contacting your kin, warning them that they are in danger, that they might be abducted and bound here with iron and their amulet taken for sinister purposes?
I can go to the Thane of the Winter Queen um, and make the petition and make them aware. Hopefully, I can reach out to an Archfey that way so they can get the message route.
Judging by the amount of dead there, I don't think they've been targeting Eladrin specifically.
And to be specific, there was no other Eladrin in that pile.
Mhm.
Everybody else was human except for one tiefling. And the tiefling is the only other one that looked like her, in the sense of like the massive blood loss.
I'm more gearing that they knew how to bind her and they were using her amulet. I'm gathering that they wanted the amulet,
Or
but I could be wrong.
it could have just been a great little cherry on top.
Well, they had been, the time that I was there, they were definitely experimenting. The the tiefling fellow that was in the cell next to me that would keep me company, tell me stories about his little girl. But
Do you do you recall, was he there when you were captured? Any idea how long he was there?
um, no, I mean, with us being underground, it was impossible to tell. But he had probably been there for a little while longer than me.
Corvina hears that and turns to the wall and says, "We have to go back. I need you to gain access. Let's go." She grabs, well, she has her own bag of holding.
It might be more prudent to try to find a means to send a message.
That's true. If you're talking about the Overlook, that's several days away.
We're taking that body out of there, and then we're sending the message.
Okay. You guys head back to collect the body.
Yeah, we're getting that body there unless the wall would have a problem getting me back in there.
No.
All right. So the wall and I, at the very least, whoever wants to come with, we're retrieving that body.
Okay. It's not a problem. There's nothing there to stop you. You'll need the wall to be able to get in, because he's the only one that's capable of opening that door. But other than that, you guys are able to go and collect the body, no problem.
Okay.
And she says, they experimented on him, and then they did similar experiments on me. I think they were close to a completion by the time you guys got there. My Infernal's a little rusty, but if they sounded excited.
Unfortunately, whatever research they had finished was destroyed.
Hopefully, through whatever you guys were able to find, maybe that'll piece together something.
If anybody has mending, maybe you can fix some of it.
It would come back as blank pages.
Correct. Mending won't fix like burned away words. It'll replace the paper, but that'll be it.
But there was
Okay.
more than just paper there, right? Isn't that what you said?
It was largely paper. The other stuff that was salvageable was a couple alchemical components, a few vials of liquid, and a couple small items. But it seems like the majority of the research went up in flames.
Do you guys want me to travel back, or do you want me to find a person who can send a message?
What level is message?
You're looking for sending in that case,
Or
because
sending,
message is too short range. Sending is a third level wizard spell. Well, a third level spell. I think a wizard and sorcerer can do it.
And well, cleric, I think as well, correct?
Probably, I'd have to take a look, but likely yes.
Bard, cleric, wizard. Perhaps someone in the Raven Queen's temple would be able to provide you with the services.
That's a good point. Maybe we can go there.
Very well. I will guard you as we go to the temple.
Corvina gives him this look of, okay, what are we doing with the body that we're still holding on to right now?
I thought it was in the bag of holding.
Will it fit in the bag of holding?
Yeah, easily.
Let's make it fit.
Okay, it's in the bag of holding.
It might be good to get gentle repose on it whenever we have the chance.
Does anybody have that?
What is that?
It prevents decay. You would have to rest to cast it, but you could do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Just to keep it from.
They could do that at the temple too.
Or yeah, that too.
Yeah, I'd say that's almost definitely one of the spells that a Raven Queen priest would have.
So, I guess the current thing would be to take it to the temple.
Okay.
It would also probably be a good place to leave the body.
I mean, we had a pretty close attachment to Rose and her grandmother. We could probably return it.
I can have it resurrected.
Father. No, you can't.
I could potentially have it resurrected. Depending on how much it costs.
We also don't know how long he's been dead. Actually, how long has he been dead? Turn to the Eladrian.
I'm sorry, I can't answer. I don't even know how long I was down there.
I mean, also, to be honest, are we really having this conversation? Because I thought it was just Corvina and the wall that went back to retrieve the body, and everyone else was staying with her.
I thought you came back after you retrieved it.
Apologies, I actually thought you came back. Are you guys still just the two of you?
Or would we be heading straight to the temple?
I would say we would come back.
Okay.
Well, if we shared our timelines, we might be able to get somewhat of a timeline so we could tell the people at the temple.
It might be best to leave the body at the temple and they would be able to hold it until the family can retrieve it.
For the Leopard, since you're the one that mentioned the spell, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Pages, as always. What was my Arcana? Oh, so that was a dirty 20.
Okay. The only thing that seems to be a fault with that plan is that for message to work, the person that's casting it also has to know the other person.
Which might be possible if
It
since
might
we
be
have.
possible. You don't. That's what I'm saying is you just don't. That if they know.
Would if they saw the person, would they be able to send it?
Let me double check, but I think so.
I don't have minor illusion anymore.
You're a changeling.
I am minor illusion.
Yes.
Says
My creature hears the message. Its mind recognizes you as the sender. It's saying it says specifically you send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature you are familiar with. I would say just a physical image of them is not going to work.
Okay, so we might just have to send a physical courier.
Or I could see if one of the priests will come with, or we can just go right to the tower and drop the body off. They might have their own ways of doing things.
We may not be going back that way for a while.
It's 3 days travel.
Screw it. Let's find an airship.
I believe we
Let's
have.
take the airship and no, Corvina, stop. We are not actually doing that.
24. Corvina's already gone.
No.
I'm going to
Because the wall would not have actually said that to give you the idea. No.
I say that we take the 3 days travel because everybody at that tower was very kind to us. Even if we have to split the party for 3 days, you guys enjoy the town. I have to lay low here anyway, so I am more than happy to take the time away.
I believe we have unfinished business still.
I have a necklace to pick up, which I'll do either when I come back or depending on above table, it's not enough time yet, right?
No, it's only been like a day.
Yeah, so when I come back, I'll pick up my necklace.
I believe
dog.
I believe Zeno still has business that's unfinished, as well as we have not pulled. We should see if perhaps we may need to hunt this hag down and prevent future situations like this.
I'll go on my own.
Excuse me.
Or you can come with.
I would not let you go on your own. You would need protection.
I wouldn't let you be here by yourself. I understand. You can come with.
I'm glaring at you.
So the two of us are more than happy to return the body to the family. We'll be back in a week.
I mean, you know what city we're in, right? And you also know that we're in a. We can literally just have it sent. We don't. I don't know why we have to make a trip out there.
I could always take an airship. It'll be less than a week.
You don't have to do. What I'm saying is, you don't have to do anything. You can just
FedEx the
do nothing.
You want me to send a courier with a dead body to the family of the... Even I, the moral compass of this group, think this sounds horrible.
We
You
also do not know that this
Does
is
have a
happening.
point.
I'm suggesting using a mortician's service.
We
I'm
may
not
also want
suggesting
to.
just sending a body on a cart with a mailman to say, "Here you go, here's your dead body."
We may want to actually confirm this even is Rose's father before we start sending bodies.
I mean, that is true. I could pick up every tiefling on the way and see which one matches. Or I could just bring this one back because it seems like it fits the description. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, then, at least they have peace.
Does it match the description? Were we given a description of the father?
Not really, no.
Tiefling, missing, talks about his daughter.
And what I'm
I will
I
say,
mean, if I was being chained up, I might describe my children to the person I'm being chained up with. I mean, did she say what skin color the daughter was?
she didn't. Let me see if he would have told her that, actually. I was actually just about to say he obviously is a darker shade than Rose, but he does have a similar color tone. And I will say yes. Oh, he never mentioned a name to her. Um, he did mention about his, ooh, excuse me, his little adorable pink tiefling daughter.
I'm not mailing him.
And we send a message and let them know.
Zerelda, will you do me a favor and give me an intelligence check, please?
Okie dokie. Do- You said intelligence?
Yes.
Okay. 11.
Okay. Um, While you don't know specifically on how much magic Lorana knows, you do know that Lorana does do magic, and she also knows Lyra because she was at the Overlook whenever you guys met her.
Yes.
So
I share that with the party.
To red tiefling mommy we go.
Let us maybe let the body be left at the temple. There's no reason to cart around the men's remains all over town.
I mean, you could easily just toss it in the bag of holding again.
Will the bag of holding do the same as gentle repose, or should we go to the temple first, have it taken care of in that sense, and then put it in the bag for transport?
Um, it will still decay in the bag of holding, but the bag of holding is essentially a vacuum, so it will decay slower. I mean, if you're going across town or even waiting to the next day, it's not going to fall apart. The body is, you could tell that it's been dead for several days, um, but it's completely drained of any blood. So it's almost like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like fully desiccated almost.
If I do a medicine check, can I get a general idea of how many days it's been dead?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nope, I have no fucking idea. That is a total of 5.
Total of 5. He's been dead for more than 1 day.
Yay!
All right, so let's go check out Tiefling Mommy because I have no clue.
I love
Okay.
the title that she's been given so far.
We have to report on the status anyway, missing people.
I would like to roll a medicine check to see how long the body has been dead, because I have a good stat.
All right, go for it.
$17.
Well, you can't pinpoint an exact day. The lack of blood makes that kind of difficult because the body looks worse than it probably should be for the time. You estimate probably at least a week. Or, uh, let me restate that. I'll give you a little bit better. Um, a little more than a week.
Okay. I share that.
So do you think, and I'm asking the party, if the body's been dead for a week, I bring it to the temple, I pay for the resurrection, and we return him back home to Rose. That's a proper enough thank you for the kindness that they gave to us.
I'm sorry, you want to pay for their resurrection.
Yes.
Do you know how much that costs?
No!
No, but I have money.
I don't think you have enough money.
Well, maybe I get a Raven Queen discount? I don't know. Let's go check it out and see.
There is the secondary problem. He would return without blood.
I've been
Yes.
to the temple, they have spare blood, or I can go find more.
I don't think that's how that works.
Well, let's at least get their opinion.
Yes.
Okay.
I think perhaps let's leave it to there.
And then, either way, we go see Tiefling Mommy because we need to send out a message.
Yeah.
All right, so the direction you guys are going is the Temple District?
Yes.
Okay. Um, Elowen looks to the group. She goes, I need to get some rest.
No, you're coming with us. I'm
Me
kidding.
and Naltham can take her to the inn.
Thank you. All right, with that, she'll kind of put her arm over her shoulder a little bit to help her walk, and the two of them will head off to the inn. Okay. So you guys head to the Temple District and head to the Temple of the Raven Queen. So you guys come up, or you do see the various temples within the district. The Temple of Sarenrae, which is kind of a beacon of the that goddess's church. Um, do see a blanking out on the gods right now. Uh, Temple to Cord as well on your way, whereas Sarenrae had the like golds and the blues for the banners. His definitely had a lot more of like battle banners and this like almost like granite like structure. Um, and eventually, as you get to um, the Raven Queen's temple, it's adjacent to the cemetery district. You come to see the black marble. As you approach, you see the large statue of the Raven Queen, her arms held out, big black wings spread, and the white porcelain mask towering over you guys as you enter through the courtyard. See the large stained glass windows.
One second. Corvina had to step away.
Okay.
Um,
How about we actually take our break?
yeah.
We'll just hit 9 o'clock. So we'll take about 15, and then we'll be.
Okay.
And then we'll
Okay.
turn to Raven Mommy.
Hey guys, thank you for waiting for us. We had a little bit of an extended break. Um, I was coming back. I'm not feeling all that great, so I'm going to go ahead and end the session for tonight. We will pick back up at the Temple of the Raven Queen next week on Thursday. So, everybody, thank you for sticking around, those who did, and we will see you guys next week. And as always, you're welcome at my table. Thank you, guys, and players, thank you as well.
Bye.
Why?
Bye.